Hello, welcome back. We're doing our makeup again today, okay? But today it's gonna be quick because I'm not trying to do too much, which is not very typical for me. I feel like anytime I do my makeup, it's usually like go all out. And I say this, but I'm also very well aware of the fact that I have the too much gene, as the Queen Jenna Marbles coined back in the day. And I just start something and next thing I know, I've gone all in. So I'm saying this, but it might change. Okay, but I'm gonna try and keep it as simple as possible. So much so that I'm gonna go grab my tinted sunscreen instead. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go in with the CeraVe Light Skin Tint, skin whatever. Wait, first off, hydrate my skin. So using the Versed Hydrating Milky Toner. A little of this stuff goes a long way. I think I've said that before. I always put too much on, but it does help a ton. So as much as I hate the feeling of toner, it works for whatever reason. So next I'm gonna go in with my e.l.f. Liquid Poreless Putty Primer. With this, I always go in, again, too much, but you know, the more the merrier, isn't that what they say? That's at least what I say, so that's what we're gonna do. And one thing, even if I'm doing like a quick something or other, one thing I'm never gonna skimp on is my skin prep. Because I have combo skin, so I have dry patches, I have oily patches, I have acne, there's a whole bunch of shit going on. And so, okay, see, so this is, I have the medium one of this as well, but I have no idea where that's at. And so unfortunately we have to use the light, and it's a little too late for my skin right now, but that's what we have, so that's what we're working with. You might be wondering, why not just use just concealer then? But I am just not, I can't. I have too much redness. I need something that'll even my whole skin tone, even though this is like far too light for me right now, because I feel like it made me look paler. So that's not fun, but whatever, that's what we have. So next I'm gonna go in, whoop, my thing almost fell. I'm gonna go in, see, this concealer is too dark for that, but that's what, again, whatever. It's the Versed concealer in 5N. If anything, I might just use this on my whole face at this point, because now none of it's making sense. So I might as well just push this. I got it on my shirt. Might as well just put this everywhere. And then I'm gonna beauty blend it. Yeah, so the sunscreen portion was a waste because I already had regular sunscreen, like non-tinted, just face sunscreen from this morning, because I do wear sunscreen every single day, as everyone should. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with my Fenty bronzer, and I'm not gonna contour or any of that. Where did that brush go? Oh, here it is. I'm not gonna go in with like contour or anything, just some bronzer to add some color back to my face, because as I said, this is not the color I should be. Also, in pop culture news, Kenny and Janae, wow, oh wowza, is that becoming bigger than I expected. That is, and people keep, they're like finding my old TikTok that I made at the end of season 6 last year, being like, oh, this is how long I think every, now with this Milani blush in Dulce Pink, how long I think each of the couples are gonna last from Love Island US season 6. And in that one I said, unfortunately, I said I expect nothing less than a lifetime. My Kosas in black, brown, black, whatever. And I said I expect nothing less than a lifetime for the two of them, and everyone keeps commenting on that now because I think they're like searching things regarding the breakup, and for whatever reason that video is coming up for them, and everyone's like, oh girl, I hate to tell you this, and I'm like, listen, I know, I hate that, and it's mainly just because I love Janae so much. I wanted the best for her, and unfortunately she ended up with a disgusting human being. But isn't that the case for all men? This is the e.l.f. Prime and Stay in light medium. I, like I said, am an oily skin girl, so I powder everything, but this is gonna be a very light powdering. Okay, Urban Decay All Nighter Spray. And then since it's in here, I might as well use my Bioma lip oil because this stuff, it really does hydrate you. I didn't even take the excess makeup off my lip. Wow. Okay, well, whatever. Now I'm going to very quickly fix up my hair, and I think for that I'm going to do the little mermaid waver thing. And that actually reminds me of Sierra. So she also came out of the woodwork. She came out of the woods and is back in the news. So I have the bedhead one, bedhead wave artist, and yeah, I think it works well. But anyway, she came out with a whole thing on, you know, this is my side of things. I'm not gonna be at the reunion, so I forgot to put 2 things away. So she's like speaking her piece or whatever. And you know what? I did watch the whole thing. I sent it to my sisters and all that. And I understand her wanting to get her side out there, given, you know, she's not going to the reunion because she was kicked off for being racist. And one part of all of this that annoys me is just her being like, her trying to make herself the victim of it all. And it's like, no, these are consequences to your own actions. I understand being annoyed at the Alandria and Nick situation because I had even made a video on TikTok about that, being like, you guys so badly want this, but like, don't you feel bad for Sierra? And this was obviously before it came out, the news about her. But I do it upside down so that the curve starts up instead of like this, so that it doesn't like wave weird at my root. And my hair's so short that I just clamp once and that's enough. But I was just like, everyone is like, oh, Alandria deserves a good guy, Oh, Nick was just using Sierra. And it's like, okay, how can those 2 things be true at the same time? How can she deserve a good guy, aka deserve Nick, but also Nick was using Sierra just like Taylor used Alandria, so aka he was doing the exact same thing. So how does that make him a good guy? Like, I think Nick is like sleazy and scammy. And so I think Alandria deserves better than him. And anyway, in that, Sierra's like, you know, none of them talked to me when they came out. And I understand, like, the rest of the cast not talking to her. Even though it's now come out, or, well, they posted, so it's not that it came out. But Andrina and Shelly were, like, out and about with, what's her face? Sierra. And so they obviously forgave her. And, you know, I mean, they know her personally and yada, yada, yada. And so, like, maybe it's easier for them to forgive her because they knew her before that came out. And, like, they saw a different side of her. I don't know. I am not able to talk about the apology being accepted too quickly by the masses and the people she knew because I wasn't personally affected by it. Okay, on the top layer, I do need to clip in 2 spots because I am not part of the group of people that were affected by the slur. But it is like, you know, you don't see anyone hanging out with you, except for JD. You don't see anyone hanging out with Ulissa who said the N-word. And so it is a little, I don't know, it is a little weird. But she was also in there much longer than Ulissa was. So I don't know. It's just, it's all very like nuanced that it makes it hard to have an opinion. And I'm just the type of person that I see everything from all sides, even if I don't want to. And so it just is unfortunate at times when I want to have an opinion. I'm like, but I get this. Oh, but I get that. Oh, but this. Oh, but that. So it's annoying. But that's just my brain. Anyway, yeah, her thing, I understand her being upset that Nick didn't come out and talk to her, both Nick and Alandria, because I do think it was fucked up what they did, okay? Like, obviously, they had the right to couple up because she was out at that point, but they did tell her while she was in there, like, hey, we tested things out, which they didn't have to. Like, Love Island is known for occasionally having friendship couples, you know? Like, they weren't being held at pew-pew point and said, you have to test this out or else we'll actually kick you off the island. No, it was just like, either you guys couple up, which they did, or you're done for. And then they test things out, going further than I think was acceptable, given how close he was with Sierra at that point, like having a physical relationship and her being her best friend in there, one of, whatever. Okay, anyway, that's how that turns out. Then I just run my fingers through it. My hair falls really easily, and so these top pieces always look a little funny. I might do it upside down just to see a little bit. Oh, okay, whatever. Okay, so that's done. And them being like, oh, we didn't feel a spark. We did test things out, but we didn't feel a spark. So good to go. By the way, I got new glasses. These are the Anika from Warby Parker. And then I also have these, which are the Gilda from Warby Parker. I think I'm gonna go back to these. I was wearing these earlier today. The fun about having 2 pairs of glasses is I get to change it up. But anyway, I did think it was fucked up that they were like, oh no, we felt no spark, we felt nothing at all. And then afterwards they were like as close as they were, and then didn't even talk to Sierra afterwards. I know people online are like very opposite of my opinion. They're like, they didn't know her or anything. And I'm like, no, but I think they kind of did. At least a little, like, I do think it's a little fucked up that neither of them spoke to her, but I don't know. The whole thing's weird. But anyway, ooh, man, now this whole thing looks like I got electrocuted. Okay, I'll put some hair oil in it and see if that, yeah, because this part right here looks weird. But alas, what is one to do? Let me grab some hair oil and see if that tames it. I always use literally the smallest amount possible because my hair is so thin and fine that if I use anything above that dribble, my hair is like grease central. And even this is like already too much, but sometimes you need it. Anyway, yeah, I think how things ended up with them was just messy, and them not saying anything. Like, I'm not saying they weren't right to pursue that relationship. I think they were right to pursue that relationship. I just think they could have gone about it better. And them not talking to her at all when they came out, when they both reassured her while she was still in there, like, neither of us felt a connection. Like, we felt no spark at all. And then being as intense as they were, it's like, are now being like, really? So you just lied to her? I don't know. I think it's a little fucked up. I also think it totally makes sense for her to have blocked his sister because she was actively rooting against her, like, even before the slur came out. And so, yeah, I'd be like, why would I follow you, especially if I'm not with him? I don't know. But also they have every right to, like, be lovey-dovey now because they are in a relationship, I think. I don't know the ins and outs of that, but yeah. Anyway, that is my get ready with me. Super duper quick and little Love Island update on what's going on. Yeah, I think the most recent news out of all of this is that Kenny was disgusting, was racist with a clout demon, not with a clout demon, he was a clout demon, he was with her for clout, that Sierra came out with an apology, not an apology, an explanation of her side of things, and that Shelly and Andrina are hanging out with Sierra. So anyway, that's it. Peace out.